I have to share with you how much I love one pot pasta. I'm sure people have been doing this for centuries, but I am new to it, and I have to tell you how much I love it. It is so good. The starch from the pasta ends up making the sauce really yummy and gooey and delicious. And all of the flavors that you're putting in your pot go into all of your pasta, and it's so good and very little mess. So that's super fun. So the first thing you're gonna do is heat your pot, your heavy bottom pot, with a little oil or a lot of oil, whatever you like, and put in your garlic and onions. Okay, try not to get your basil in there quite yet, not like me. Great. And give that a stir until cooked and translucent, but not quite browning. This one I'm doing is super simple. It's just a spaghetti pomodoro. So we're using cherry tomatoes, Parmesan cheese, basil, garlic, onions, lots of olive oil, of course, and some water. So once your garlic and onions have started to sizzle up, next thing you want to do is add your basil, cherry tomatoes, or Roma tomatoes, or grape tomatoes, whatever tomatoes you happen to have on hand, and give them a good stir. And then glug on a little bit of oil, a little bit more. Oh, gorgeous. And once all those tomatoes get nicely coated, you want to add your water. Okay, so once you've added your water, turn your heat up to high and start that bubbling up. That's when you're gonna add your pasta next, okay? Don't forget to add a little salt and pepper at this point. A good chunk of salt. Oh yes, oh yes. Just like you're salting the water for your pasta. Give it a good amount of salt, maybe a couple teaspoons for sure. And you can also add some of your pepper here. Okay, so once your water has come to a boil, that's when you want to add your pasta. A lot of the recipes say to crack your spaghetti in half. I love long pasta, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it all in and hope for the bottoms to soften up enough that I can start pushing it down. And then basically you stir the thing like a risotto. Just keep going, keep stirring, keep moving it all around. All of that water will start to soften it up. And eventually your pasta will be cooked, and I'll show you what happens. It's the most magical thing. It's just so delicious. So once you put your pasta in, you want to make sure you turn your heat down a little bit so that it's not at a rolling boil, more like a nice gentle simmer, and that's going to cook that pasta so nice and beautiful. So basically now the pasta looks like pasta soup. It's very watery, but you just let it simmer away, and eventually all that flavor is going to go inside the pasta, and it's going to leave you with like a velvety smooth sauce. It's so good. Okay, so at this point, you can certainly add a little bit more water if you don't think that you've added enough, depending on your pasta. But mine looks pretty good. So I'm gonna take it off the heat, and we're gonna add about half a cup of Parmesan. I probably did about 3/4 of a cup, because cheese. And a good old pat of butter, all right? And give that a good stir. And that cheese is gonna help combine the sauce and make it really yummy and gooey and bring it all together. So the pasta is done. I'm just giving it one last final stir, and it is just one pot pasta magic. It is so good.